Hi everyone, so for today's makeup look, I decided to do a drugstore glam look. I know that it can be hard to find products that are good and affordable, so these are some of my favorite products and I hope that you guys like them as well. I really like how my makeup turned out, and so yeah, let's just hop into the video. Okay, so I'm gonna be taking my L'Oreal Brow Stylist Definer eyebrow pencil. And this is in the color brunette, but they do have like one shade darker, which is called dark brunette, but when I went to buy it they didn't have that shade, so I got brunette. But if I were to choose, I probably would have gone with the dark brunette because I do have like darker eyebrows. But I mean, I'm sure that this will work fine. But yeah, so I'm just gonna go with this. This one reminds me a lot of the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz, which I really like and is basically the only one I ever use other than the pomade. So I also really like this one because it compares to that one a lot. Alright, so now that I have my eyebrows filled in, I'm gonna go in with the Maybelline Fit Me concealer, and then this is in the shade Sand, and I'm gonna go in with this Wet n Wild concealer brush, and I'm gonna use this to clean up under my eyebrows. So I'm just gonna put a little bit on the back of my hand, and then I'm gonna go in with my brush to pick up some of the product. Okay, and then now I'm gonna use the same concealer to prime my eyelid. So I'm just applying that on my eye, and then I'm just gonna spread it out with the same brush. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to run my beauty blender over, or sorry, not my beauty blender, my beauty sponge over my eyelids, because this concealer does tend to crease like pretty quickly. So I want to make sure that there are no creases in my eye before I go in with eyeshadow. And then also really quickly I'm gonna set my eyebrows, and I'm gonna go in with this Maybelline Great Lash mascara, and then this is obviously clear mascara, and then I'm just gonna run that through my eyebrows, and that's gonna help keep them in place. So this is what I use all the time, regardless of like whether I'm doing like a drugstore foundation look or not. Like even when I'm just doing like high-end kind of look, I'll still use this mascara because it's good and it gets the job done. So yeah. So now for my eyeshadow, I'm going to be going in with the Morphe 35O palette. Now this isn't necessarily drugstore in the sense that you can go to like a CVS or Walmart or whatever and get it, but it's drugstore price, and I think that it's a really good price for the quality of the product and for the amount of product that's given to you. But also now Morphe sells their products at Ulta stores, so if you have a close Ulta store nearby, you can always just run down and get the palette. So that's why I chose this as the eyeshadow palette. And also what I'm going to try to do is use drugstore brushes. So the first brush that I'm going to be going in with is this Wet n Wild like blending brush. This you can get literally at the dollar store for $1, and yeah, so it's gonna be really cheap for you. So now what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I am going to mix this shade right here with the shade right next to it, and tap off the excess, and then I'm going to put that all over in my crease very messily. Okay, so then once I have that shade on, I'm gonna go in with this shade right there, and using the same brush, I'm going to put that all over in my crease as well, very messily. I'm gonna go in with the Morphe M518 brush. And again, you can get these brushes at your Ulta stores. Not all of the Ultas have it, but a majority of them do. So I'm just going in with that last shade that I used and putting this in my crease, and then also blending like almost like the under eye part of my eyebrow out so that it looks all really blended. Okay, so then now using the same brush, I'm gonna take a mixture of these two shades right here, and then I'm gonna also put that in my crease and blend it out. Now with this color, I'm gonna be like a little bit more careful with it, not to bring it too high up. I'm gonna try to keep it just in my crease. And then you can go back in the palette and pick up some more of the eyeshadow until you've built up the color that you want in your eyelid. Sometimes you do have to build the color up a little bit, so that's what I'm doing here. So I'm probably gonna have to go back and forth with these two shades a few times on this eye to get the color that I want. Now I am going to take the Morphe M513 brush and dip into this color right here. Tap off the excess, and then I'm going to work this product on the outer and then inner corner of my eye, and then with whatever's left on my brush, I'm going to blend into my crease. Okay, so now before I go in with any other shade on my eye, I'm going to take the first brush that I used, and with no extra product, I'm just going to blend everything out again, because I just want to make sure that as I'm adding colors onto my eyelid, that everything stays as blended out as possible, so that it doesn't look like I'm just piling on one shade on top of the other. Like, I want it to be a smooth transition, so to say. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to deepen up the inner and outer corner of my eye just a little bit. So I'm going to grab the Morphe M433 brush, and I am going to take this shade right here, and I'm going to use that in my inner and outer portion of the eye. Okay, now that I have that done, I'm going to go back into the same brush that I was using before, which is the Morphe M513, and without any extra product, I'm going to blend out my crease a little bit more. So for the center, I want to add like a gold shimmer. So I'm going to mix 3 of these shades. I'm going to mix this one right here, the one next to it, and the one on this corner. And I'm going to use my finger to apply it, because that's how I'm going to get the best color. And then I'm going to go back in with my Wet n Wild brush, and I'm going to take this shade right here And I'm gonna use it to blend everything out once more. So now that I am done with the eyeshadow, what I want to do is apply a thin layer of eyeliner on my eye so that when I apply my falsies, you can't really notice the band. And for that, I'm going to be using the NYC liquid liner. Alright, so I have my liner on, and for lashes, I'm going to be going in with these. These are Cocoa lashes. These you can't necessarily find in stores, but I chose them as a drugstore kind of lash because these were only $7, so that's pretty cheap. Like other lashes will cost up to like $30. So these are pretty good. Alright, so I went ahead and I did my lashes, and then I also wiped off like any excess eyeshadow that I had fallen out. Now I'm going to be priming my face. I'm going to be going in with the NYX Pore Filler Primer, and I'm going to put this around my nose and on the sides of my nose because I've noticed that recently I've had like a lot of like pore issues, so like I want to correct that. So for the rest of my face, I'm going to be using this Wet n Wild Dewy Face Primer. So I'm just going to apply some on my face. Okay, for foundation, I'm going to be going in with my Milani Conceal Perfect foundation, and I'm just going to pump this on my face. And then I am going to use my Real Techniques brush to blend this out. Okay, now for concealer, again I'm going to be using my Maybelline Fit Me concealer, and like I said earlier, this is in the shade Sand. And then before moving on to the other side, I'm going to grab my setting brush. This is the Real Techniques setting brush, and then I'm going to grab this powder. It's like this Rimmel translucent powder. The top of it broke, so I just took it off and I use it like this now. I'm sort of like pushing this product into my skin so that it really sets my concealer, because okay, now before finishing off with the rest of the face, I'm going to smoke out my bottom lash line. I'm going to use a mixture of that shade right there with this shade right there, and I'll just be using those two colors to smoke out the bottom lash line. When I apply mascara on the bottom, it's gonna look a lot more put together. And then I forgot to mention the mascara that I'm using is the Great Lash Mascara by Maybelline, and this is in the color Blackest Black. Now I want to smoke out the bottom lash line a little bit more, so I'm going to be taking this NYX retractable eyeliner, and this is in the shade Bronze, and I'm just going to apply it in my waterline. Okay, so now I am going to apply under brow bone highlight and inner corner highlight. So I'm going to be taking this shade right there and apply it in my inner tear duct. And then I'm going to use that same shade for under my eyebrow. And I'm actually going to use this Morphe M210 brush for it. This is my like favorite under brow bone highlight at the moment. I recently bought it and ever since then I've really liked it. Now I'm going to move on to the face and I'm going to be using my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. This is in the shade Deep Bronzer, and to apply this I'm going to use this e.l.f. blush brush. I like it because it has like a contoured tip, so this will really help to like blend it out but then also give you like a sharp kind of contour. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit more and I'm going to apply it on the sides of my nose and then on my jawline. So then now I'm going to apply some blush and I'm going to be taking my Wet n Wild blush, and this is in the shade Mellow Wine. I really like this color because it's such like a pinky peachy mauve kind of color, and that's like my favorite kind of shade for blush. For setting spray, I'm going to be using the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. This is $15 I believe, and you can get it at any Ulta. Now I know it's $15, so it's not too like budget comfortable, but for example the Urban Decay All Nighter Spray costs $42 for a bottle that's just about this big, maybe even smaller. And as I mentioned before, this is $15, yeah, but it's quality product. It's really good. It smells amazing and it sets your makeup really nicely. So I always go a little bit overboard with this and apply more than I should. Okay, I'm gonna be finishing up the face now. For highlight, I'm gonna use the Morphe M510 brush, and I'm going to mix this Wet n Wild highlight in the shade Precious Petals with this Wet n Wild Gold Bar highlight. So I'm just gonna mix the two, tap off the excess, and then apply it. Okay, now I'm going to finish off with the lips. I'm going to be taking this NYX lip liner in the shade Natural. This is the retractable lip liner. So I outlined my lips and it's very natural, like I want a nude lip. So then I'm also going to use this to fill in my lip. To finish it off, I'm going to be going in with a little bit of lip gloss. You can use any lip gloss, literally it could be like a $1 lip gloss, as long as it makes your lips shine, that's all that matters. But I'm using the e.l.f. lip plumping gloss. This is pretty much it for the tutorial. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I really hope that you enjoyed watching this video.